Good morning, everyone. I now call this meeting of the Executive Council to order. As Chair of the Executive Council, I've determined that the requirements of Minnesota Statute Section 13 Delta .015 have been met and will conduct this meeting via interactive technology. Because the meeting is being conducted through interactive technology, all votes will be a roll call vote. I would now call for a motion to approve the draft minutes of the Executive Council meeting held on October 21st, 2025.
So moved.
I now call for a roll call vote by each member of the council. Auditor Blaha, how do you vote?
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison?
Aye.
Lieutenant Governor Flanagan?
Aye.
Secretary Simon?
Aye.
And I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries. The minutes are approved. I would now like to recognize Minnesota Management and Budget Commissioner, Assistant Commissioner Jennifer Hasmer to present a request to approval of collateral for state funds. You are recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Great. Thank you, Governor, and good morning to members of the Executive Council. For the record, I am Jennifer Hasmer, Assistant Commissioner at Minnesota Management and Budget. So I have just one agenda item today, which is requesting the approval of new collateral used to secure funds on deposit at one of the state's banks. Executive Council approval is required by Minnesota Statute Section 9.031, Subdivisions 2 and 3. And the collateral listed on your memo represents new collateral. I'm requesting your approval today, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Assistant Commissioner. Is there any discussion from the Executive Council? Hearing none, I would call for a motion to approve the request.
So moved.
I now call for a roll call vote of each member of the council. Auditor Blaha?
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison?
Aye.
Lieutenant Governor Flanagan?
Aye.
Secretary Simon?
Aye.
And I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries. The request is approved. Thank you, Assistant Commissioner Hasmer. I would now like to recognize the Department of Revenue Disaster Lead for the Property Tax Division, Eben Johnson, to present a request to designate Lyon County and St. Louis County as disaster areas for property tax release. Mr. Johnson, you are recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Thank you, Governor, and good morning, members of the council. My name is Eben Johnson. I'm the disaster lead for the Property Tax Division at the Minnesota Department of Revenue. I'm here today on behalf of Lyon County and St. Louis County to request approval of their applications to be declared a disaster area for property tax purposes pursuant to Minnesota Statutes 273.1231. This status allows damaged homestead properties to receive credits on their property taxes due in 2026 that reflect the damage that they suffered earlier this year. It also allows more generous relief for non-homestead properties that qualify for relief, and also allows the state to reimburse the counties and taxing jurisdictions to make them whole. These applications have been reviewed and meet all the statutory requirements for their applications as a disaster area to be approved, and therefore on behalf of these counties, I am requesting Executive Council approval. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about the property tax disaster relief, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And I know the Executive Council knows and the minutes are out there, but this is from earlier in the season, storms, floodings, and wildfires. And again, it's the right thing to do. I appreciate the work that's been done on this. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'd call for a motion to approve the request.
So moved.
I now call roll call vote of each member of the council. Auditor Blaha?
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison?
Aye.
Lieutenant Governor Flanagan?
Aye.
Secretary Simon?
Aye.
And I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries. The request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, for the work. I would now like to recognize DNR Director Joe Henderson to present a request to approve a state taconite iron ore mining lease in Itasca County to Mag Iron LLC. Director Henderson, you are recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Thank you. Good morning, Governor, Executive Council members. Again, my name is Joe Henderson. I'm the Director for the DNR Division of Lands and Minerals. Before you today is a request to approve the issuance of 5 negotiated state iron ore leases to Mag Iron LLC. The proposed state iron ore leases cover 760 acres of state-owned minerals located northwest of the city of Coleraine in Itasca County. The state iron ore leases will be issued, contain similar terms as found in the state taconite leases issued within the last 2 years, with the exception of the type of ore allowed to be mined. The authority for negotiations and issuance of these leases is authorized by Minnesota Statute Section 93/1925, Subdivision 1, where Clause 2 applies. Subdivision 1 reads, conditions required. When the commissioner finds that the best interests of the state will be served and the circumstances in clause 1, 2, or 3 exist, the commissioner, with approval of the executive council, may issue an iron ore or taconite lease through negotiations to an applicant. Clause 2 reads as follows: the lands to be leased are primarily valuable for their natural iron ore content. Some additional background on this request. Mag Iron plans to recover iron ore bearing materials in tailings basins located on the west side of the Mesabi Iron Range. The company currently owns a mineral processing plant in Itasca County. Mag Iron holds one lease for state-owned iron ore materials in the general vicinity of the natural iron ore it is requesting. Mag Iron is now requesting in-ground mineral leases for state-owned iron ore as additional mineral feed for its Itasca County plant. Pursuant to Minnesota statutes, Mag Iron has filed an application with the Commissioner of Natural Resources on July 29th of 2025. The lease requested covers 600 acres of school trust lands and 160 acres managed as county tax forfeit. 80% of mineral lease revenue from school trust lands is deposited into the corpus of the Permanent School Fund and is invested. The interest is distributed each year to school districts throughout the state. The remaining 20% of the mineral interest revenue is distributed to minerals management account. The school trust fund properties to be leased contain an estimated 21.25 million tons of mineable crude ore. These properties should generate approximately $34.7 million in royalty payments to the state over the life of the leases. Mineral lease revenue on tax forfeited land is split as follows: 80% to the local taxing districts and 20% to the mineral management account. The 80% to the local tax districts is split 4/9 to the schools, 3/9 to the county, and 2/9 to the township or city in which the leased lands lie. The tax forfeit lands to be leased lie within the Grand Rapids School District and Arbo Township. Tax forfeited properties to be leased contain an estimated 150,000 tons of mineable crude ore. These properties should generate approximately $280,000 in royalty payments to the local schools, community, and state over the life of the leases. There's a map and a great deal of additional information in your briefing packets for consideration, which I will not review now. But I will conclude that it is the Department of Natural Resources' conclusion that it is in the best interests of the state to approve the issuance of the 5 negotiated iron ore mining leases to Mag Iron LLC. Mag Iron has met the requirements to qualify for negotiated iron ore leases in that the lands are primarily valuable for their natural iron ore content. Therefore, it is the DNR's recommendation that the State Executive Council approve the issuance of these 5 leases to Mag Iron LLC. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Director Henderson. I would ask the Executive Council if they could hold questions, and we have a speaker request on this agenda item, and we can take questions after that. I would now recognize Mr. Larry Leighton of Mag Iron LLC to address the council. Mr. Leighton, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Governor, and members of the council. Appreciate the opportunity to speak. Can you hear me okay? Everybody can hear me?
Again,
Okay.
Mr. Leighton,
Yes.
please go.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very pleased and excited to be before the council asking for this lease. This represents a significant milestone in the history of mining in Minnesota. This will be the first time there's been a proven process put to work to process oxidized hematite iron formation, which is, I'm born and raised in Minnesota, been in the mining industry for 50 years, and familiar with the work Dr. Davis did to invent the taconite process, the magnetic taconite process. What I've been working on for a couple decades now is a similar effort that enables this process to be the process that turns hematitic Mesabi iron formation into usable concentrate for the next 500 years. The ore bodies we have in the vicinity of Plant 4 will last, more than 300 years at the design rate. So this is a major milestone that I'm very excited to have the opportunity to prove out, and it will be the first time, as I said, that a process has been shown and proven to process hematite iron formation in comparison to the magnetic taconite that is mined at the other operations over the last several decades. So I just wanted to make that point just so everybody can realize the historical significance of what's happening here north of Coleraine, northeast of Grand Rapids.
Well, thank you, Mr. Leighton, and I will just say grateful for your for making Minnesota your home, but grateful for your willingness to invest in Minnesota. And I know that you followed all the processes. The DNR has made that clear that you're prepared. I certainly will support these leases, but just really grateful. There's folks like you out there, entrepreneurs, risk takers, who are willing to use these resources responsibly. And again, I can't state enough that you heard the director talk about the school trust fund money, which is really great to help the communities of northern Minnesota. With that, any questions, comments from the Executive Council? Hearing none, I would call for a motion to approve.
So
moved.
I now call roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
Lieutenant Governor Flanagan,
Aye.
Secretary Simon,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries and the request is approved. Thank you, Director Henderson, and best of luck to Mag Iron and you, Mr. Leighton, and really grateful. With that, any further discussion from the Executive Council? Hearing none, I would call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
Lieutenant Governor Flanagan,
Aye.
Secretary Simon,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The ayes have it. The motion carries. The meeting of the Executive Council is adjourned. We will say goodbye to Lieutenant Governor Flanagan and Secretary Simon and move towards the Land Exchange Board. I now call this meeting of the Land Exchange Board to order. As Chair of the Land Exchange Board, I've determined that the requirements of Minnesota Statute Section 13 Delta .015 have been met, and this meeting may be conducted via interactive technology. Because it is being conducted via interactive technology, we will need roll call votes. I would call for the first motion to approve the minutes of the October 21st, 2025 Land Exchange Board meeting.
So moved.
Roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The motion carries. The minutes are approved. I would now once again recognize DNR Director Joe Henderson to present a request for approval of land exchange between the DNR and the Two Rivers Watershed District. Director Henderson, you're recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Thank you again, Governor, Land Exchange Board members. Again, Joe Henderson, Division Director for the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources, Division of Lands and Minerals. This is the land side. The last meeting was the mineral side, right? Today before the board, we have a land exchange project, EXA 10028. This exchange project is an exchange between the Two Rivers Water District and the DNR. Please refer to tab 2 in your packet. The project is in Kittson County and involves 320 acres of DNR acquired lands valued at $232,000. And the Two Rivers Watershed District land, also 320 acres, is valued at $232,000. Please review the map in your packet and note that this exchange would provide lands to the Two Rivers Watershed District that would be more suitable for a planned flood managed reduction and control project. The state would acquire higher ground lands more suitable for leasing for agricultural purposes. The title to the lands to be administered by the DNR has been reviewed, and we find the title to be acceptable. All standard procedures have been followed in developing this exchange. A public hearing was held in October of this year, and no comments or objections were received regarding the exchange proposal. Final approval is recommended for land exchange EXA 10028. The state of Minnesota, between the state of Minnesota and Two Rivers Watershed District.
Thank you, Director Henderson. I would remind, as Attorney General often reminds us, this information was provided to Auditor Blaha, the Attorney General, myself, well in advance of the meeting. It's also available to the public and online available for this land exchange. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'd call for a motion to approve the land exchange.
So moved.
Roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The ayes have it. The motion carries. The exchange is approved. Thank you, Director Henderson. Our final order of business, I would now recognize U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service Supervisory Realty Specialist Luke Anderson to present a request for approval of certified easement acquisitions. Supervisor Realty Specialist Anderson, you are recognized for as much time as you may consume.
Governor, members of the board, thank you and good morning. I am Luke Anderson. I am with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. May I draw your attention to the first page behind tab 3. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service requests authorization to purchase 63.41 acres of wetland easements and 916.46 acres of habitat easements on private property in the counties listed below. All proposed acquisitions have been certified by the respective counties. In closing, we request approval for these acquisitions to move forward.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Mr.
your time, and we stand for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Any questions from the Land Exchange Board? Hearing none, I would ask for a motion to approve the land exchange.
So moved.
A roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The ayes have it. The motion carries. The request is approved. Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Any further
Thank you.
discussion with the Land Exchange Board? Hearing none, I call for a motion to adjourn.
So
So
moved.
moved.
Roll call vote. Auditor Blaha,
Aye.
Attorney General Ellison,
Aye.
and I, Governor Walz, vote in favor of the motion. The ayes have it. The motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Wish you all the best the rest of the week, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.